What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Sideswipe the Boss back at it again with another tier list. And today I decided to do a little special tier list for all the Star Wars fans out there. I am doing, as you can see, a clones tier list. So I'll be putting all the clones, well, not all the clones, because if I did all the clones, we'd be here all day, all week probably. So I'm doing like the main clones or clones that at least had more than one appearance. If there are any other clones that you want me to add in, or maybe I could like make a comment about it in the comment section down below, just let me know that in the comment section down below what clone you want me to put in a tier, and then I'll put a comment back and say what tier I'd put them in. But for now, let's just get into this clones tier list of clones I have on this list. And if you do enjoy this video, just hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. We are still on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We are almost at 800 currently. So the new goal is maybe 900 subscribers by the end of November. So that's the goal that I'm hoping that I can make, and that'll be almost there to 1,000 subscribers. So we're getting a little closer every day. So just keep on liking, keep on subscribing, and the support would be very appreciated. So first up, we have Commander Fox, and yeah, we're starting out like that. Commander Fox, everybody. I could put him in the F tier. Me and my homies hate Fox. But the only thing that saves him is that cool armor. He has very cool armor. Especially his Phase 2 armor. It's very, very cool Phase 2 armor. And red is my favorite color, so he gets a pass. But Commander Fox is going in the D tier. He knows what he did. We all know what he did. Next up, we have Boyle. He's the half of like the Boyle and Waxer pairing, and he's my favorite out of the two because he's more like the sarcastic out of the two. It's very funny as well. He didn't really show up too much. He showed up about I think 3 or 4 times altogether in Clone Wars, but he was still cool and funny nonetheless. So he's gonna go in the B tier for me. Hey, B for Boyle. Look at that. Next up, we have 99. And in the 2 episodes that 99 was a part of, man, definitely one of the more emotional clone stories in Clone Wars for real. Never got his chance to show, his skills, show what he got. But then when the droids invaded Kamino, what did he do? He showed them what's up. And he died like a true soldier, man. I'm not crying, y'all are. So 99, he's going in the A tier for me, man. He's my guy. He's my guy. 99 deserved better. Next up, we have Fives, and Fives was the GOAT. Well, there's a whole bunch of GOATs on this list, but Fives is one of the GOATs for real. I mean, he was a part of the 501st. We've been with him technically since like the beginning, because he was a part of that Rookies episode. And then you saw like his origin with his crew, the Domino Squad. And then, he was one of the last surviving members of the 501st, or at least one of the surviving like main members of the 501st. And Fives deserved so much better. We know what happened to him. We know what you did, Fox. But yeah, Fives is awesome. He's one of my favorite clones. Definitely in my top 4 clones for real. So he's going in the S tier. Next up, we have Captain Rex, and come on, y'all. Y'all know where he's going. S tier for sure. He's my favorite clone. He's my favorite character in all of Clone Wars. He is the true GOAT of the entire show. You can fight me on that. So S tier for my homie, my man, Captain Rex. Next up, we have Crosshair, and Crosshair is a part of the Bad Batch crew. It was kind of sad seeing how his story turned out. He was a cool part of the Bad Batch, well, the crew. But then, Order 66 happened. His chip came alive. And, he kind of just descended into darkness from there. And then turned out to find out that everything was out of his own free will. Everything he did to the Bad Batch was out of his own free will. So I'm curious to see where his character goes in season 2 of the Bad Batch. I'm just hoping that maybe he gets a redemption arc, because if he dies, Filoni, we're gonna have a long talk. We're gonna have a long talk. So he is going at the top of the B tier for me. Next up, we have Dogma. I think that's what his name is, and he was a part of the Umbara arc. He's part of the 501st, and he's really annoying. He is so very annoying. If there's a clone that maybe could pass my hatred for Fox, it probably would have been Dogma. But he did end up taking out Krell at the end of that arc, so maybe he sort of redeemed himself, maybe not. But he was still so very annoying. So he's going at the top of the D tier, just because he did take out Krell. Next up, we have Echo. And Echo's kind of had the short straw, to be honest. I mean, he was cool in Clone Wars. He didn't really get too much because he was taken out in season 3. And then he did come back in season 7, which is pretty cool. But then in the Bad Batch show, he didn't really feel too much like a part of the crew. He kind of felt like a side character. And I wish they did more with his character, because they didn't really do much. I mean, he only spoke twice in the whole Bad Batch season 1 finale. So I hope season 2 we get to flesh out his character more, so I could like his character more a lot. It's just he kind of got the short end of the straw with this one. So he's going in the C tier for me. Hopefully it rises, maybe, in Bad Batch season 2. Next up, we have Gregor. And Gregor's a pretty cool character. It was cool seeing him take out all those droids in Clone Wars. And it was sad when we all thought he died. And that was before I watched Rebels. He came back in Rebels for like a couple episodes, which was cool to see him. And he also made a cameo in the Bad Batch, his goofy self with that stupid voice. Bradley Baker, you genius. But yeah, he's a pretty cool character to me nonetheless. So he's going to go at the bottom of the B tier. Next up, we have Hardcase. And Hardcase was a pretty cool character. Kind of rash, but that's how he was made, technically and literally, genetically speaking. And he gave his life so that his brothers could make progress in the fight for Umbara. And he will never be forgotten. Live to fight another day. I'm not crying. You are. It's going to be a lot of crying this episode, okay? Leave me alone. So he's going to go at the top of the C tier for me. Next up, we have Heavy. And Heavy, he was a part of the Domino Squad. We only saw him in like 2 episodes, but still kind of cared for him because he was one of the first clones, at least with a major name, to die or give his life for the Republic, because he died on the Rishi Moon protecting his brothers. Why is everybody dying, man? But he's still a pretty cool character, and he did go out in a pretty cool way as well. So he's gonna go at the bottom of the C tier for me. Next up, we have Kix, and Kix is like the 501st medic of a sense. And, he's a pretty cool character. Other than being a medic, he doesn't really get to do too much else. I mean, Fives did come to him in that bar during, Fives' arc when he found out about the chips and Order 66 and all that. So it was pretty cool that Fives trust him and all. But other than that, he didn't really get too much else to do other than being a medic and stuff. But he was still a pretty decent character, so he's going to go at the bottom of the C tier for me. Next up, we have Captain Hauser. I don't know if he's a captain for sure, but Hauser. And Hauser was a part of the Bad Batch arc when they were on Ryloth. And it was something else. The hold Hauser had on women. It was insane. All over Twitter, it was just Hauser simping left and right. I don't know what they did in that animation studio, but they did something. But he was an alright character to me. He didn't really do too much, except that speech he had about, doing the right thing, not trying to enslave the Twi'leks. Was it? The Twi'leks? Yeah, the Twi'leks. And, yeah. And his character left off with him just getting arrested. So maybe they'll revisit his character in season 2 of the Bad Batch. I mean, I hope so. He was a pretty decent character. I'd like to see more of him. So he's going to go under Echo in the C tier. Next up, we have Hunter. And Hunter's a pretty great character. He's the leader of the Bad Batch. And he did get like the most character development along with Omega in the Bad Batch. Him being the father figure, I guess, for Omega. But also taking care of his team, his squad. And I appreciate that. And also, he has some pretty cool fight scenes as well. He had a great rivalry with Crosshair for sure. So I'm hoping they do more with this character while also giving more screen time to the other members of the Bad Batch, but keep Hunter the same as he is. So he's gonna go in the A tier below 99. Next up we have Jesse, and Jesse's a part of the 501st, and he was a big part of the Umbara arc in season 4 of Clone Wars. He was a part of that trio that took out the spaceship, but then was about to get killed because Pong Krell's like, no, you follow my orders or you die, and all that good stuff. And Jesse, he also showed up a few more times in Clone Wars as well before his inevitable turn when Order 66 happened. And he was the main person they went up against. Rex and Ahsoka went up against Jesse and the clones on the ship. And his helmet was very... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting real sad right now because most of these clones are dead. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is, but it's still kind of sad. But Jesse was the homie for real, and it was sad to see him go the way he did. I wish they could have redeemed him. That would have been cool. So he's going to go at the bottom of the B tier for me. Next up, we have Commander Gree, and I'm only including him because I'm not sure if he made more than one Clone Wars appearance, but he did show up in the live-action movies. He did try to take out Yoda when Order 66 happened, so rip him, because, Yoda beheaded him and his friend. But he was kind of cool in that episode of Clone Wars, even though he got taken out after Asajj showed up, I think. Or was it that Senate guard who portrayed him? It was one of the two. But he's just a pretty cool character nonetheless, so he's going to go at the bottom of the C tier for me. Next up is a little special addition I decided to add because of one of my Twitter buds. You know who you are. And it is Fordo from the 2003 Clone Wars. Not the 2008 and beyond Clone Wars. 2003 Clone Wars. Those short little shorts, kind of, in a way. And it is Fordo. Yes, he was awesome. I've only seen Clone Wars 2003 like once or twice before, but before I seen it, I always would see this scene with Fordo in it just going ham on the droids while protecting the Jedi, and it was awesome. He deserved better, and I hope he at least made it out safe. So Fordo is going to go in the B tier. I'm going to put him between Boyle and Gregor. Next up, we have Commander Bly. He usually shows up when the Jedi Leia shows up. I think that's how you say her name. And he's a pretty alright character. He's more by the book, do this, do that, get the job done right, And I mean, he did end up shooting Leia on that planet during Order 66. So, I mean, tough break. But he's still a pretty alright character to me nonetheless. So he's going to go in the C tier below Kix. Next up, we have Tup. And Tup is the CEO of Deserved Better, for real. Because he was a part of the Umbara arc, but his main thing was when his chip malfunctioned and he shot a Jedi before Order 66 even happened. And then he became a lab rat to figure out what was happening, and then he died. Which was very sad as well. And, like I said, he deserved better. He deserved a lot better. So Tup is going to go in the C tier above Hauser. Next up, we have the homie Wrecker. And Wrecker is hilarious. He's definitely the funniest member of the Bad Batch for sure. He's the brute of the group. Not very smart, but still counts when it comes to strength for real and the humor. And, I really enjoyed his character in The Bad Batch, and I hope his character gets fleshed out more, beyond the stupid but lovable brute. So he's going to go in the B tier above Boyle. Next up, we have Tech, and Tech is my least favorite member of The Bad Batch. Not because I don't like him per se, it's just, he's kind of one-dimensional to me, to be honest. Like, he's smart and technical and all that good stuff, but they haven't really fleshed out his character at all, to be honest. So I'm hoping in Bad Batch Season 2 they do some of that, and maybe I'll like his character a little more. But for now, he's going to go in the C tier below Hauser. Next up, we have Commander Cody, one of the few clones that have a big role in the live-action movies as well as the Clone Wars. And, he's a pretty cool commander. Whenever you think of clones, it's either Rex or Cody, to be honest. At least, like, main clones, for sure. And, he's a pretty cool commander. He's always, following Obi-Wan into battle, doing it by the book as well. Well, almost always by the book, but also having some cool action moments as well. It's sad that he turned when Order 66 happened, but, chips and stuff. So, I wish maybe we'll see him again in the Bad Batch. It is going to be kind of sad, though, if they do reunite in the Bad Batch, because, he's turned. And I don't really know what happened to him after Revenge of the Sith. So it's interesting where the character could go. So he's going to go in the B tier below Gregor for me. Next up, we have Omega. She's like the kid of the Bad Batch, She tagged along to run away from Camino and stuff like that. And, she was pretty alright. She did get some of the more pivotal or important character development in Bad Batch. And, she kind of found her place, or is finding her place in the crew. And, I'm excited to see where her character goes in Season 2. It could go many different ways, so I'm interested to see, well, like I said, where her character goes. So she's going to go in the C tier, just below Hardcase for me. Next up, we have Waxer. He's the other half of, like, the Boyle and Waxer duo. And he's a pretty cool character. He's kind of more the sympathetic of the two. He was taking care of that kid when they were on Ryloth the first time. And he also had a sad death when Paul Grell turned two clone units against each other. And he died a sad death as well. Like, bruh, why did he have to go? Waxer deserved better. Hashtag Waxer deserved better. But he was still a pretty cool clone nonetheless. So he's going to go at the bottom of the B tier for me. Next up, we have the homie Wolf. And Wolf is going in the S tier for sure. Why is he going in the S tier, you say? It's mainly because of that sick armor he's got. His armor is so cool. Like, it is so cool. He leads the Wolf Pack. He's under Jedi Plo Koon. He's just awesome. He does not play around. He is no joke. And he also showed up in Rebels 2, and it was cool seeing him reunite with the crew. And, it was funny in that moment in Season 4 when he saw the wolves attacking, and he was like, they fight just like the boys. That was a cool moment for sure. And Wolf is like my third favorite clone, so he's definitely going in the S tier. Next up, we have Commander Appo. He had a small part in the Umbara arc, and he was also the clone who almost shot Bail Organa when Bail showed up to the Jedi Temple in Revenge of the Sith. And then he got taken out by the kid Jedi, so rip him. I mean, there's nothing really else I could say about him. He didn't really do too much, and he wasn't very likable, to be honest, because he was about to shoot Bail. And, he was definitely following Pong Krell's orders to a T until, he turned the clones against each other. So he's also going in the D tier, at the top of the D tier for me. And finally, we have Oddball. He's just also a little special edition because he's always showing up. I mean, he survives, clearly, at least until Revenge of the Sith. But, you know, he's always showing up, showing them how to do it when it comes to flying, taking out clankers and stuff like that. But other than that, that's really all he does, to be honest. But he's still a pretty cool fighter. At least he survived that long, so he's definitely a good one for sure. So he's going to go in the C tier above Kicks. So, as you can see, I did move some people around because I decided to give some more clones the benefit of the doubt, move them up a bit, and the C tier was getting kind of full. And with the C tier, guys, at least for this tier list, it's not that I don't like these characters or think they're mid, it's just they barely showed up. That's the only reason why most of them are in the C tier. If they showed up more, they definitely would be a bigger B and A tier for sure. Maybe if we see them more, I'll move them up or make an updated tier list for sure. I do not hate any of these characters, except maybe Dogma and Fox. But that's it. That's it. So that's the tier list, folks. No one in the F tier. In the D tier, we have Commander Appo, Dogma, and Fox. In the C tier, we have Echo, Tup, Hauser, Tech, Heavy, Oddball, Kicks, Bly, and Gree. In the B tier, we have Wrecker, Gregor, Cody, Jesse, Waxer, Hardcase, and Omega. In the A tier, we have 99, Hunter, Crosshair, Boyle, and Fordo. And in the S tier, we have Rex, Fives, and Wolf. So that's the tier list, folks. Thank you guys for tuning in to this, little special tier list I made for the Star Wars fans. Let me know in the comments section down below what your tier list would be for clones. Maybe you can add a few clones that I missed. And, do you agree with my list? Would you change it at all or keep it the same? Let me know that in the comments. Also, let me know if I missed any clones, write them in the comments, and then I'll probably just reply to your comment with where I put them at in the tier list. And let me know in the comment section down below what tier list you want to see next. And if you did enjoy this video, just hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.